Buenos dias, Argentina. Another beautiful morning. I love it here. Absolutely love it. I like to think that dinosaurs were waking up on a morning just like this, looking at a scene very similar to this, and getting ready to start their day just like I am, out here in Patagonia. Where we're walking now, and the last little bit you can see these fragmented rocks with the sand and brush leading into the sand and eventually the water. This was all once covered by water. And this soil here is perfect resting place for dinosaurs. And there's just, I'm sure this is scattered. If we had some device to emit a frequency that only would read bones, if you were to plug that into the soil here and send that out, I'm sure it'd be riddled with fossils waiting to be dug up. And if nothing else, it makes a wonderful walk. It's beautiful out here. As I've spent the past month, 2 months here, in between digging and experiencing times with the locals, I was turned on to a great little, mom and pop restaurant, we'd call it back in the States, called El Pollo Blanco, the white chicken. It's a great farm-fed chicken. It's all natural here. Everything they do is natural because, they're farmers, and it's just a slower, simpler time back here. It's like if time stood still for a while, it'd be here in Patagonia. Yeah, I love it. It's funny, you go to a place like this, and a lot of the times you can get tipped off if you talk to the right people about where the best bones are. You can really go just about anywhere, and the odds of you standing over, watch your head, an ancient fossil is pretty high. You have to think from the mind of these animals that, as the meteor was coming, they're running for cover just like any of us would, and this is the perfect spot for one to go. If you visualize, you can see a raptor laying in there. There's pockets like this all over Patagonia. Looking behind me, you see these lowlands that have been created as this inland sea recesses. Now, as that's doing that, what it does is it pulls sediment from these rocks around us. But if you're like sifting for gold in a pan, it kind of just raises up. And if you look around here, here's a perfect example of sand, or rock and sand, kind of what happens here. You come out here and really you kind of just start brushing, and you're liable to come across something here. What do we got? Here? Oh boy. Yeah, looking like a skull. Infant. Yeah, that's a little baby skull. We'll bag that up and we'll bring that home. Do some more research on that. A piece of Willie Bakker will definitely be left behind here, and fossilized and covered by dirt, and forever will be here in Argentina. Maybe one day a future paleontologist will discover that piece of Willie, and the chain of paleontology continues. But until then, this is Willie Bakker signing off from Patagonia, Argentina, wishing you a buenas noches. As I leave these places, it's not rare that I'll take something home with me. A little German boy by the name of Hans, who was there on summer vacation, gave this to me. I was walking down the streets, And he had recognized me from some of my work and handed this to me. And these are real bones. He said it'd be better with me than with him, and he's right. Put that up there for good luck and a little memory of Argentina. I actually came out here probably 15 years ago. It was just as I was entering the field. Just finished my thesis. And my dad needed an extra hand on a dig out here, so I came along with him. And back then, there weren't even these paved roads out here. We were in a Humvee, all dirt. Honestly, that's kind of how I feel like it still should be. But, you know, tourists are now going to these places too, which is great. You know, spread the knowledge, but something about going on a dirt road to dig through dirt, it's romantic, I guess.
I hung myself out on a line beneath an Argentina sky.
We got a letter from Willie's dad, a cease and desist, basically saying that we couldn't use his name anymore. We could use his last name, I guess, the network says, because it's Willie's name, and he can't restrict us from using that. So I guess, like, we can say the words, we just can't, it can't be about him. So, you know, for instance, we could say Willie Bakker, or we could say Bob Dole, but we can't switch those. So
My dad, through the, you know, paleontologist wind tunnel, fucking word spreads like wildfire, found out that I'm doing this documentary and that I'm going by Willie Bakker, which I thought I had his blessing on, which I thought we had buried the hatchet on, which I thought we were having a healthy father-son relationship on. It didn't come from him directly, but his lawyer told me that it would be best if I just left that part of my life out, even after receiving what I thought was his blessing. So it's back to Willie Pargeski for me.
The air did chill. I knew that though I'm here in
But I always come out on top with these things. You know, that's since the beginning. It seems like the forces have been working against me in this field. No one wants to see Willie pull out the big bone.
I don't know, it doesn't really mean anything for us. It's probably kind of a blow to Willie, since his dad, you know, fucking doesn't want him on the show, doesn't want him to be talking about him on the show. It's got to be pretty embarrassing.
La ropa todavía doliente en la soga. Bajó desde el
Whatever, I don't need to say his name.
y las nubes se cargaron a lo largo del cielo. Rápido, adentro, cerrá las ventanas. Viene una tormenta. Saca tu ropa de la